Muhannad Ayyash is a professor of sociology at the Mount Royal University and joins us now live from Calgary in Canada. Muhannad, thank you very much indeed for your time. So Benjamin Netanyahu bringing forward his scheduled visit to Washington, no doubt to try to apply some pressure on Donald Trump.
Thank you for having me. Yes, you're absolutely right. Basically, there is not one country in the region that wants this war, that wants this attack on Iran. The overwhelming majority of the people in the region don't want an attack on Iran. The Iranian regime does not want a war with the United States. The Iranian people don't want a war with the United States. The American people, the majority of them, don't want a war with the United States. There's only one government in this world that is undivided on this issue, and that is Israel. Across the political spectrum in Israel, the Israeli state is determined to have this attack on Iran and see a regime change happening there. They've wanted this for decades, and they believe that this is the moment to do it. And so Netanyahu is certainly going to try to pressure, to place as much pressure as he can on President Trump to engage in such an attack on Iran. Within the American government, within the Trump administration, there are also voices that are aligned with Israel's on this question that do want to see regime change in Iran. So it's still unclear where the United States government lies on this question and whether President Trump is going to actually, attack Iran in the coming days or weeks. But certainly the Israelis understand that they need to put pressure on him to persuade him to do it, because there are certain elements within the U.S. government that don't believe that it is in their interest to do so. So it remains to be seen what will happen, but certainly this visit is about encouraging the U.S. to attack Iran, unfortunately.
And we know that Israel wants to apply pressure to try to make sure that Iran's ballistic missiles program, as well as its proxies in the region, are addressed by the US. Iran has said it only wants to talk about the nuclear issue. And as for Donald Trump, do we know exactly what he wants Iran to agree to? Because up to this point, he seems to have been mixing optimism for the talks along with threats by moving more military assets to the region.
Yeah, so this is certainly one of Israel's main goals, is to essentially not just end the nuclear program in Iran, but essentially weaken Iran so that it would not pose any kind of, it's not even about Iran posing a threat to Israel, but any kind of opposition to Israeli plans in Palestine and in the region in more broadly. And that's Israel's goal, is to have any state that is willing to stand up to Israel when it comes to its settler colonial project in Palestine and regional military dominance. They want any such state weakened, broken apart, fragmented. And that is what they desire to see in Iran. Now, certainly you're right. Trump has focused much more on the nuclear issue in his public discourse. There seems to be suggestions the last day or two that he's also starting to incorporate these questions about the ballistic missile program and proxies in the region and so on. I don't know how much that will move Trump one way or the other. It's difficult to try to predict someone who's as unpredictable as he is, and someone who's as transactional as he is. But in my view, I think he would like to come out of this without having to, with a deal that prevents an attack on Iran. I don't think that will sit well with his base. I don't think he'll be able to sell such an attack on Iran the way he sold the attack on Venezuela. I don't think such an operation that he unleashed on Venezuela will also work the same way in Iran. So for those reasons, I have a feeling, and this is just a feeling because it's hard to predict him, that he doesn't want to engage in military action again on Iran. But certainly you cannot underestimate the power of Netanyahu and his allies within the American government and the Trump administration, like Rubio, like Lindsey Graham, and many, many others. I don't underestimate their ability to push Trump towards military action, and I think it's really important to underscore here that the Israeli government and their neoconservative allies in the U.S. are not really concerned about bringing democracy and peace and stability to Iran. They would be happy with a fragmented Iran mired in civil wars for decades to come, so long as that means the weakening of Iran as any kind of opposition to the Israeli state project. So we shall see. Again, my hunch is that he doesn't want to. But I don't underestimate the power of those who wish to influence him and push him towards military action. And they can probably sell him on the idea that the U.S. could get richer and certain industries in the U.S. would benefit greatly from such an action and regime change in Iran.
Muhannad, as ever, you need a crystal ball with Donald Trump, and even then there are no guarantees. Muhannad Ayyash, thank you very much indeed for joining us, Professor of Sociology at Mount Royal University.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.